Imagine you're standing in a grocery store. You grab a carton of eggs. The price says $4.20. You turn around for 3 seconds to grab bread. When you look back, the price is now $4.85. No employee touched it. No mistake happened. The shelf just talked to a computer. And the computer decided you should pay more. Welcome to 2026, where prices don't just depend on supply and demand. They depend on you. Your phone. Your bank balance. Your location. Even the time you walk into the store. Two people can buy the exact same groceries. And one of them secretly pays 20% more. Not because they bought more. Not because the product changed. But because the system knows they can't afford to shop anywhere else. This isn't called price gouging anymore. In 2026, they call it smart pricing. And the scary part? Most people have no idea it's happening. Imagine you are standing in a grocery aisle in the middle of a Tuesday. You pick up a carton of eggs. The digital price tag on the shelf says $4.20. You walk 10 feet to grab a loaf of bread, and when you turn back, that same carton of eggs now says $4.85. You didn't imagine it. The store didn't make a mistake. The shelf just talked to a computer, saw that the store was getting busy, and raised the price in the 3 seconds your back was turned. This isn't a movie about the future. This is how things work in 2026. We used to call this surge pricing. We accepted it for Uber rides or plane tickets because we thought it was about how many people wanted a ride at the same time. But the system has changed. It has moved from your phone and into your real life. It's in your rent. It's in your food. It's a hidden computer program that follows you everywhere. It makes sure that the less money you have, the more everything costs. We were promised that technology would make life easier. Instead, we got a system that has learned how to use your needs against you. For a long time, there was something called the poor tax. It was a simple idea. It meant you had to buy a single roll of toilet paper because you couldn't afford the big pack that costs less per roll. Or it meant paying a fee to cash a check because you didn't have a bank account. It was annoying, but you could see it happening. In 2026, the tax has gone invisible. It is hidden in the code that runs our world. The system uses something called personal pricing. On the surface, it sounds like a good thing. Companies call it prices made just for you. But here is how it actually works. Every time you use a store card, every time your phone tracks where you are, and every time you look for a loan online, a digital file about you gets updated. In the past, a store didn't know if you were rich or struggling. Today, the shelf knows. When you walk into a big store now, sensors in the ceiling find your phone. The system knows your bank account is low because you just paid a late fee on your electric bill. It knows you have to buy certain things today because you have no other choice. And because the computer knows you don't have a car or the time to drive to 3 different stores to find a deal, it can raise the price of your milk or bread by 50 cents. It's a tiny robbery. It's too small for you to notice on one item, but it's big enough to keep you from ever saving money. Let's look at how this math works for 2 different people on a normal day. We will call them Sarah and Mark. Sarah has extra money in the bank. She buys her food in bulk, uses a credit card that gives her money back, and shops when the store is empty because her job lets her work from home. Mark works by the hour. He buys what he can carry on the bus after his shift ends. Because he is shopping when everyone else is also getting off work, the computer at his store sets the prices to their highest level. Because his credit score isn't great, the app he uses to pay for his groceries charges him an extra fee that Sarah doesn't have to pay. By the end of the day, for the exact same bag of food, Mark has paid 20% more than Sarah. Years ago, this was called price gouging and it was against the law. In 2026, we call it smart technology. The strange part is that this system was sold to us as a way to be fair. Tech companies told us that data would make everything perfect. They said that if we tracked everything, we could stop wasting money. They were right about one thing. The economy is now very good at taking every last dollar from people who are already struggling. We are seeing this happen most in the housing market. In 2026, most big landlords use rent software. This software doesn't just look at what other apartments cost. It looks at your personal life. It sees that you've been searching for moving trucks or that your kid just started at a school nearby. It knows you really don't want to move. When it's time to sign a new lease, the computer doesn't just raise the rent by a little bit. It calculates exactly how much more you can pay before you are forced to move out. Then, it sets the price just $1 below that limit. The companies say this helps them manage their buildings. The reality is that it's a high-tech way to make sure that no matter how much you earn, you never have any money left over at the end of the month. The stakes are higher than just a few extra dollars on a grocery bill. We are watching the end of the public price. For hundreds of years, the price of a loaf of bread was the same for everyone. It was a deal we all agreed on. If you and I stood at a counter, we paid the same amount. That is gone now. When prices are different for every person, we can't fight back together. You can't complain that things are too expensive when you don't even know what the person standing next to you is paying. This creates a loop that you can't escape. The system thinks you are a risk because you are being overcharged. Because the system thinks you are a risk, your financial score goes down. And because your score is low, the system thinks it's okay to charge you even more. It is a machine that creates the very problems it claims to be tracking. The people who build these systems will tell you that you can just choose not to use them. They say you can use cash, or turn off your phone's location, or hide your data. But in 2026, hiding is expensive. Many stores now charge you extra if you want to use cash. Or they only give discounts to people who let the store track them. Privacy has become something only rich people can afford. If you want to keep your life private, you have to pay a privacy tax. So, where does this leave us? We are moving toward a world where the cost of living isn't a fixed number anymore. It is a moving target that knows your weaknesses. We have built a world that knows us better than we know ourselves. And we have given control to computers that have one goal: to take every cent they can. As we get deeper into the 2020s, we have to ask a question that the experts are trying to ignore. If the system is designed to take away every bit of progress you make, is it still a fair way to live? Or is it just a very smart trap? The next time you are at the store and you see those digital prices change, don't just look at your wallet. Look at the cameras and the sensors. Because the system isn't just watching what you buy. It is calculating exactly how much it will cost to keep you right where you are.